Good morning everybody. We are going to be completing the Sweet 17 granny square today as part of our 365 granny square crochet along project. It's a very cute little square. It has the popcorn stitch, which we learnt a few squares ago in it. So let's get started. Now I'm going to start this one with a magic ring. If you're uncomfortable with a magic ring, just do a chain of 4, I would think 4, as an alternative. So we start off with a chain of 3, which will serve as our first double crochet, and we're going to do 16 double crochet into the magic ring. Sorry, I'm in a new setup tonight in my craft room where it's a little bit quieter, so I hope you can all see and hear me better. So that's 3 double crochet. As I said, we're going to put 16 double crochet into the magic ring, join it up with a slip stitch, and I will meet you back here with the next step. Okay guys, I have just completed my 16th double crochet into my magic ring. So I'm going to pull the string at the back to close up the circle. And then I'm going to lock it all together with a slip stitch through the top of the 3rd chain on the 1st stitch, which you'll remember was the 1st double crochet. So we've got our perfect little circle. Our next round is consists of some popcorn stitch. I'm going to change colours here because I like the colour variation here, makes it look a little bit like a flower, which I think is a little bit cute. So I'm just going to add in a second colour. Okay, welcome back. I have joined on my second colour with a slip stitch, and then I've done a chain of 3, which will be serve as the first double crochet in our first popcorn stitch. So we have covered the popcorn stitch in a previous square this year. Popcorn stitch consists of 5 double crochet in the 1 chain space from the previous row. Then we drop the loop and pull it back to the first one, which sounds confusing but is not when you see how to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochet. Now we're going to pull that loop up so we don't lose it. We're going to go into the top of the first chain space. We're going to pick up that loop that we just dropped, yarn over, and we're going to pull it through both loops. 1, the last one, and my wool separated there, the first one. Pull it nice and tight, and that's how we get our little pop. So the popcorn stitch sits up nicely off the project with a bit of a 3D effect. Now every stitch in this round isn't a popcorn stitch. We're going to do 2 double crochet into the next chain space. So that's 1 and 2 into the same chain space. And then we're going to move on to our next popcorn stitch. So 5 double crochet, 2, 3. You'll have to excuse all the paint on my fingers today. We're making over our garden beds, so there is an enormous rainbow in my backyard at the moment. It's a bit cute. But the kids and I had fun, and that's all that matters. So we've done 5 double crochet. Go back into the first stitch of that cluster of 5, take our dropped loop, yarn over and pull through both. So we've got that nice puff stitch. We move on to our next set of double crochet, and we're going to continue in that fashion all the way around to join up over here. So a popcorn stitch, then 2 double crochet in the next. Following that pattern, there will be a total of 8 popcorn stitches and 16 double crochets. So keep hooking your way around and I will meet you back here for round 3. Okay, I'm nearly finished this round. I just thought I would jump back in and show the popcorn stitch one more time. So we're going to do 5 double crochet into the same stitch. Four and 5. I'm going to have to excuse my voice a little bit tonight. I'm still suffering with a summer cold, which is just horrible in nice warm temperatures. So we've done our 5. We left the loop up and pulled the hook out, put it back into the top of the first double crochet in the cluster of 5, went through and picked our loop up, yarn over, pull it through both, and then our final stitch for this round will be 2 double crochet in the last chain space from round 1. I'm going to join it all together with a slip stitch and then tie it off. Now, slip stitching into the back of a popcorn seems a bit intimidating, but if you look, you can sort of see where if you look behind, you can see where the stitch is carried on. So we're just going to pull up the closest chain space to the top for our slip stitch. And that's it. Beautiful puffy little flower petals with our gorgeous popcorn stitch. I'm going to tie off now and change colour. I'm just going to join in with a slip stitch and I'll be back to show you round 3. Okay guys, I've just joined on at the top of our last popcorn stitch with a slip stitch. I'm going to do a chain 3, which will serve as our first double crochet. In this round, and this one is all double crochet and then a chain. So got a chain of 3, done a single chain. I'm going to go into the top of our first double crochet, chain 1, go into our next double crochet, do a double crochet, chain 1. Now we're going to do a double crochet into the top of the popcorn stitch. So just on that cross loop, chain 1, and we're back to double crochet. So I've got a double crochet into each with a chain between. So the first one, a chain, double crochet into the second, chain 1, and looking down you can see going through that big loop in the back of the popcorn stitch with a double crochet. So we're going to continue with the double crochet with the chain space between for the remainder of the round. So chain 1, double crochet into the top of the double crochet from the previous round, chain 1, and keep going. Join it all up with a slip stitch at the end, and I will meet you back here with probably another colour change. Completed that round of double crochet and chain stitch, and because who doesn't love weaving in ends, I've just done another colour change. It does give it a really striking look, and it is worth it in the end. Now this round consists of all half double crochet. We're going to do 2 in each single chain space from the previous round. So for half doubles we just need a chain of 2 instead of 3 like we would use for the double crochet, and then a half double into that same chain space. Again, just half double crochet into every chain space from the previous round. So 2 in each one, all the way around. So continue with the half doubles, and I'll meet you back at the beginning with a slip stitch. Okay, round 4 completed with all those half double crochets. Now we're going to do some more popcorn stitch. So we'll start there. The popcorn stitch are going to form the corner of this square. So starting a new round, our chain 3 will be the first double crochet in our popcorn stitch, and we're going to do them all into the one hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull up the loop, go in to our first, pull that loop back on, yarn over and pull through both. Now we're going to do a chain of 4 and then do another popcorn stitch into the same chain space from the previous round. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now another popcorn stitch into the same hole. So 5 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull our loop up, go into the first stitch through the one we just left, yarn over and pull it through both. So you can see how we get that cute little pop in the corner, which is just adorable. I really love the popcorn stitch. It is a little bit tricky to learn at first, but just gorgeous. Now we're going to chain 2, going to miss the 2 half doubles from the previous round that kind of overlap there, and go into the third with a half double crochet. Which I think is my all-time favourite go-to stitch. I don't know why, it's just the most comfortable. So we're going to do 2 of them in separate stitches, 1 and 2. Then we're going to do 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, sorry, 5 single crochet, 4, 5, then we're back to 2 half doubles, 1, and 2, a chain of 2, 1, 2, and we're back to popcorn stitching the corners. So we're going to miss the next 2 stitches, and we're going to do the popcorn stitch. In for the corner. So 5 double crochets, 5 double crochet, pull up our loop, go through the first, top of the first in the set of 5, through the loop we left up, yarn over, pull through both. Now remembering it's going to be a corner, so we've got a chain of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another popcorn stitch into the same hole. So 5 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove our hook into the top of the first stitch in the cluster, back through that loop, yarn over and pull it through both to make it pop. You can see how cute that is looking. This is just a gorgeous square. So we're going to do the same as we did on the previous side. I'll walk you through this one to the corner, and then I will let you finish stitching while I complete it off camera. So a chain of 2, skipping those first 2 half double crochets from the previous round and doing one in the third. A half double crochet, and a second half double crochet. Then we've got our 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 half double crochets, skip 2 half doubles from the previous round, and then go in with with a double crochet to start our corner, which is the two puff stitches with a chain of 4 in the center of them. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Round 5 is completed with the gorgeous popcorn stitch corners. I just love that. Now we're on to our final round. You can see how the circle has become a square with those nice corners. I'm just going to do a final colour change because I love weaving ends. Okay. I've just joined my new colour on in the chain of 4 between our popcorn stitches in the corner. I'm going to do a chain of 3, a chain of 3 and a double crochet into that nice big 4 chain space. I'm going to do 3 chains, which will set our corner, and then we're going to do 2 double crochet into the same corner chain space from the previous round. And then we're going to move over to the chain space we left next to the popcorn stitch with another 2 double crochet. And we're going to double crochet into each stitch of that row. So a double crochet into our standard stitches on the corners, 2 double crochet into each chain space, and a chain of 3 in the corner. We'll just work our way along the first row. I hope you can all see okay. This is a bit of a different camera setup for me in a quieter area of my house where my wonderful children are much less likely to come and find me loudly. And it is my craft space and my reading haven. And aside from my kitchen, probably one of my favourite rooms in the house. So we double crocheted into all those standard stitches. Now we're back to a chain space, so we'll do a double crochet, 2 double crochet, and we're going to move around to the corner chain space between the popcorns with 2 double crochet, 1, 2, a chain of 3, and another 2 double crochet to set the corner. Two double crochet into the chain space next to the popcorn. This just helps the remainder of the square to sit nice and flat while our popcorn stitches are giving it some texture. So you can see it squares it out a little more. Just gorgeous. We're going to continue around with the double crochet in the pattern we've just looked at. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this and found it very helpful. See you next time.